What's up, my Nerdy Ricans? Here we are today, and we've got some stuff for you. We got Epic the Musical, Practical Magic 2, the trailer. Have you seen it? A live-action Gundam, and we're definitely gonna have to talk about these Marvel firings. So, as always, as Captain Pike would say, hit it.
Welcome to the zone where geeks collide, where comics and heroes come alive. Marvel, DC, Starfleet in the mix. Lightsabers flash, we're nerding out quick. Nerdorican's the name of the show. Dive into the worlds you already know. From the big screens to the comic store. Super stories and so much more.
What's up, mi gente? Hey, it's me, Mo here, Satan, and
Spawn of Satan.
And we're back for another adventure. Well, let's say, yeah, it is an adventure because when we start reporting stuff, yeah, it's always an adventure when we start reporting stuff and we come across things and we just go, what? And speaking of what?
So, and this is not real, like, this is already a little bit old, but apparently Marvel has been laying off a lot of people, majority of which are connected to their visual departments, visual effects department, and in particular one, was it Andy Park, who was like their lead of that, and he was like working with them for almost 16 years now. So, and I think it's like almost like 1,000 people so far.
It's a hell of a
Maybe
shakedown.
more.
Hell of a shakedown, to say the least, because these are your core people, from what I've read also, is that these are the core people that founded Marvel, okay?
Helped, not founded, but at least helped it from the
I like to say
up.
founded, because from the ground up, these are the people that started Iron Man. Well, let's say what we know for sure, we call it for a fact that as far as the beginnings and the foundation is concerned, it was Blade that at least started the work. But Iron Man kicked it up high.
I don't think he did Iron Man.
Well, they don't think they did Iron Man, but they were brought in after that for Iron Man. And from that point forward, Captain America. I mean, we had the first 10 years to thank these people who brought us all this good storytelling,
But now
as well
this
as practical effects.
begs the question of if these layoffs are connected to AI, is that a good thing? Because now we're losing actual artists to fake artistry. Well, not I would say fake artistry, but we're losing real artists to, like, how people lost their jobs to robots. Like, there's no, like, what happens now? So, like, yeah, AI is advancing, but how much more advanced can it get than an actual person working on an actual program or actual actors doing their actual job? So
it's that discussion before. It's like technology, you know, is it helpful or does it hurt? Is it the person using the tech that makes things worse, or is the tech making things worse for everyone in general? I mean, was it the Screen Actors Guild? Did they not, I may be mistaken, did not have a strike? Actors having a strike because of AI?
I believe so. I haven't been keeping track of a lot of what's. I know that there was one going on because of, like, a writer's strike happened and all that. But also, like, there's a lot of talks, and this is me from fandom perspective. I'm very active in fandom forums. I read the comments. I follow a lot of that. So, in that regard, from what I'm seeing, a lot of people are kind of predicting these are going to fail. Like, Marvel's going to fail. Any company that starts putting in too much to AI or giving too much to AI is pretty much signing away their rights to anyone under millennial age wanting to pay for it. Because the thing is that, right? A lot of people who mess with AI are people who are older than that, right? And it's not that it's a bad thing, but that's the target. You're the target audience, right?
Exactly.
Of AI, not me. I'm not the person who's gonna watch AI and be like, yeah, I want to watch this in a whole movie format. I don't know. Like, maybe bits and pieces here and there, I'll put up with it. Or if it's like for, you know, to show this is the potential. But a lot of millennials and under and younger generations are like, yeah, if this is how it's gonna go forward, we might not be paying for this then, if that's the thing. And is it really good for them to only cater to one generation then? Because that is a potential, that's a lot of money to be lost if you're catering only towards a small demographic of people who are watching them.
Now, I'm speaking as the target audience because I remember back in the days, practical effects.
I love practical effects.
When you had animatronics, and when you had puppeteering involved, and then you had the event of the green screen. I mean, George Lucas, when he started Star Wars, created his own
Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah, Industrial Light and Magic. He created them for this purpose, and they went on also not just to do Star Wars. I mean, Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country, ILM, Industrial Light and Magic was behind that, and that's when they actually used a 3D model rather than an actual big model to create the effects that they do. So me sitting there and then watching it and going, wow, because that's what it was, practical effects. Now, fast forward, 10, 15 years later, you have CGI. And you're going, wow, Jurassic Park is more alive because of this. Or could they have done it through another way? Like back in the days, I was cool enough to watch Godzilla when it was the guy in the suit. Sometimes I found it hilarious, but also entertaining. Now, at the same time, they've evolved also to now CGI and creating more of a lifelike, realistic version. And you're sitting there going, wow. But again, it's directed towards me to watch and, okay, I like the evolution of it, but then how far is this going? So when I see that then now people are losing their jobs of it, it's like, well, that it's like when automation came into the automotive industry. So many people lost their jobs, but now it's become a happenstance that if you want to produce this X amount of cars, here we go. Automation is your way to go.
But
I like to think that there should be a balance. No, I like to think there should be a balance. It shouldn't be automation all the way, because at the end of the day, human intuition, human ingenuity created these things, and there should be a human, more than enough humans also balancing it out.
So what I'm hearing is that you're against AI.
Yeah, I'm slightly against it because I've watched. No, this is why.
Let me clarify.
This is why I'm slightly against it. While it looks good, and I can see the things that they're accomplishing, but it's still still an early piece of technology.
Yeah, it still has a lot way to go.
Whole way to go. People are just saying, "Oh, this is the next wave." CGI is great, and I say it because of Jurassic Park. The fact that they brought back, was it General Tolkien for Rogue One, and they brought him to life. I mean, you could see the subtle differences. When I watched Superman Returns and the last scene he's going up, you could see the subtle differences. But in essence, some of the scenes that was created from it, CGI, fine. But now AI is supposed to mean that you take my face and now you're creating something that does have no life, because again, it's CGI. It's AI.
Unless you take the AI.
But where's the soul of the actor?
Well, that's the thing we were talking about before, how my thing with AI is not necessarily that it's bad. I think the way it's being utilized is bad, right? So I think that a lot of people are trying to use it to replace how you said that they replaced workers in the automation line, they're replacing actors, and they're that was the whole thing going on now with this one actor who passed away recently, that they used his AI, and they're like, oh, is it really Val Kilmer? They're is it really still a performance from Val Kilmer if it's an AI concept and it's not his voice, it's not like a full recreation? So, and I saw parts of it and it looked really janky. I was like, this don't look right.
Well, when they used AI for his voice in Top Gun,
see, now
that was good
for me.
But the next step, not so much.
AI, I think, as a tool is great to utilize for concept videos, concept work. It's like, look, I have an idea, this is what I want to do, but I can't do a full CGI video, but guess what? I could do an AI video. Right. I can show you this is what I want to present, or for smaller productions and stuff like that. When utilized properly, and this is why I say utilize properly, you're sitting down, I know Charles does, I be watching him, editing it, fixing up the what he's putting in to get the AI to look how he wants. He's not just putting in, I want boys sitting at table, this and this and this, and then utilizing it. He's going through 10 different iterations of the same video, and my heart hurts watching you go through that, because I'm I'd cry. By the third iteration, I'd be I'm jumping out the window.
That's why I was going to jump in. When you said CGI and AI, they're all the same thing. A lot of people don't realize. CGI is, back in the days, I used to have to wear the green suit with the green dots. And then AI is just saying, hey, use this guy with the green suit with the dots to move around without the green suit and the dots. That's all AI is doing.
Right.
Is a human that had to put the prompts. Hey, I did so many movies of Spider-Man swinging down. Now, when you do someone swinging the same way, so it's same thing as green screen and all that. But when you like Sam said, if you just putting a word in and say use this guy's voice, it doesn't give the emotions.
No.
But that's what you have to study.
Yeah.
You have to study. AI is a new coding. Instead of using zeros and ones, or back in my days was HTMLs, and then it was zeros and ones, now it's words. You have to use the exact words to get exactly what you want. So it's tiring.
Right.
If I want you to say, yeah, and shake your head, I have to say, yes. He shakes his head with a dot, or his eyes show this, his eyes do this, his eyes do that. That's
right. Yeah, and that's where you can tell the difference between people who are utilizing it.
Yeah. I don't have to use you to do it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's
But I think that's a very slippery slope, because in certain cases, a lot of people feel like, well, I don't need to pay an actor because I can just do this. But the thing is that you probably would have benefited from having an actor involved, because what you're producing needs someone, right? So same thing with the audio, right? The music, the AI music, which you do this a lot. I try so hard to get into, because like it sounds great, but you can tell it's not a person. I think remember when we were working on our things, I think that's what kept messing me up too. I know it's not a real voice, and I'm trying to match a real voice. I'm trying to really do things that I know I can't do, and it messes me because I look for the breathing. I can't hear breathing. I don't hear this. I'm like, I can tell this is not a real person. And then again, it takes away the talent from somebody else who could have done that. I think if you use it as a guide, like this is what I want the song to look like, this is what it should sound like. All right, now let's bring someone in and record it and then go off of that. That's great. You're using it as a basis. You're not using it as the only thing. And I think that's where a lot of companies are now making the mistake of like putting everything into AI, because they're like, well, AI is growing, AI is this. Well, it's growing. But the thing is that it has not reached the potential to be like Hollywood-esque yet, because no one has.
AI is not really for movies.
No.
As a person that does AI coding, it's not for movies. It's for music videos, for anime, things like that.
Right.
Small productions. You want to like you want to do a movie. Yeah.
But a movie. Plus, AI, a lot of people don't know, when they put it on Facebook or social media, let's say, people are like, oh, that was real. I was like, no, it wasn't.
No.
How do you know? It was less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
AI production only gives you about 10 to 15 seconds
Right.
before it starts screwing up, because it's too much
for it to handle.
Too much data to handle.
Right.
So you got to break it down. Who wants to break down 2 hours of a show like that? So right now, it's not really.
And if you could pay to get like the bigger subscription AI, like even those aren't going to give you a lot to work with. They have it very limited. So to do like a full production on that is like.
They'll save money on stunts, on stabbing a person.
Well,
you know, like
other
like
things that those are the people you pay for to do.
Or if you want to do like a concept video.
For those risky stunts, that's where you're going to have AI in there, because you're not putting that person's life at risk, and you can pretty much dream up any stunt you want to dream up, within reason, of course, because you still have to make it believable so the audience can go, oh wow, like the whole scene of.
Or Brandon Lee.
Oh, better yet, Mission Impossible. How many times that Tom Cruise has broken a limb or whatever? He does his own stunts, and it's like, yo, that's crazy. I was like, I'd rather put an AI person there than I'm saving my actor. He won't buy by it, but hey.
In those cases.
And I'm a practical effects person through and through, and also being in horror, like that's my thing. So practical effects will always be my number one. Like if we can make it as real as possible, we're doing it, right? But there are times too when like I imagine if I had AI maybe like 5 to 10 years ago, like how it is now, I would have been like making concept videos and be like, hey, I want to make a horror movie. This is the idea I have. This is the video I'm sending you. This is what I want to make. How can we make this happen? But with real people. But using the AI to
I do have an example of what she's talking about. Take the movie in the 1980s with Kurt Russell, The Thing. Practical effects all the way. Now take the 2011 prequel of The Thing, and that was done it was done CGI. It was done CGI where it was not practical effects. They didn't really had like bubbles or things. They had an actual little green person or whatever, or green screen, to put the creature in, from transformation all the way to whatever it does. So there's your two examples there.
I'm just giving stank face all the time. That was like the worst. I hated that so much. And I was looking forward to the practical effects when we saw that. I was like, yes, let's go.
Or here another example. When 2 years ago, when I was over at Comic-Con, we had the Star Trek event, and then I got to see, we had a place where we were having actual drinks and food with, and I came across Robert Picardo. But I didn't talk Trek. I said, dude, I remember him being the werewolf from The Howling. And we were talking about that, some practical effects. I said, they did a 30 or 35th anniversary revision of it. But what they did was they took CGI the thing and then AI recolored it because the first actual movie was too dark. So you saw like shadowy closures, and then what added more light to give the ambience of the transformation. Like when they said the two best, Howling was one, American Werewolf is different, but also another because it was done in bright light. He said, yeah, but here's the thing. By recoloring it so you could see the actual thing happening, you took away the whole element of the fear behind the transformation. Right. The music, the hearing of the crackling of the pop or whatever that comes with it, now you put it in bright light, like, okay, whatever. But when it was first produced and when it was first seen, like I was like, dude, and you trying to see this, you see the fingers, you see the chest break out, you see the face crackle out, and you go, ooh.
Yeah, I've always been like that.
So I guess those are the two things.
So I guess we can always, in agreement, say that right now AI isn't hidden.
It's in its infancy.
It might not.
It's a baby still crawling.
It might not make it very far to infancy. If I'm being real.
But it's not really set for movies yet.
No.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make my horror movie.
Yeah.
And once one was good, but then the second one I'm like, oh my god, now I have to recode it, I have to do this.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
So now I have to do a voiceover on top of that. So there is a lot of work if you're trying to do a movie. It's not going to work for a movie.
You can't replace the actor. You can't replace the stunt person. You can't, and in essence, really, you can't really replace the heart that comes from the actor.
Right.
Pretty much. When they make a statement or when they make a statement or whatever, you're like with Val Kilmer, it sounded great when he was speaking. We took a lot of his lines that he done and they put it together, and that sounded great. Leave it at that. But if you're going to replace him, you can dub and bring in all his movies, but you're still not going to get Val Kilmer. You're not going to get it. Not yet, at least. I mean, it's still
very long way on that.
Long way, and again, that's the evolution of technology. Or as you could do the opposite, like Savick said in The Undiscovered Country. Workers who feared automation threw sabots into the machinery. Hence the word sabotage.
One AI that people don't use and probably don't know of is characteristic AI. I can bring you into a screen right now, and I can move my body, and your body will move.
Yeah.
Because that's what I use for my anime.
Yeah.
So,
but that's as far as
I remember that when
it moves your mouth, it moves his mouth.
I remember when the Wii first started that with the little Wii characters and stuff like that. But on that, it's
AI for movies won't work
not
right
yet.
now.
No.
Until they learn how to do the coding correctly.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was not, AI was never meant for that.
Yeah. Hopefully,
so
Marvel.
For me, I would look at AI as if you're doing a space battle, great, use it for a space battle. But if you're gonna replace an actor and make them say lines and make them do this or fight, no. That's where it falls apart. It really does.
It's only good for moving and for anything that's colorful, like cartoons. Device right now, you're gonna find so many flaws, and you gotta go back to doing it.
Yeah.
And
I think that's more hours.
In the long run, but it's a headache.
That's more hours than what the guys at CGI would do when they were trying to create Jurassic Park, and they're just like trying to get the dinosaur right, and they're doing frame by frame by frame versus this. It's still frame by frame, but it's frame with coding, and you got to go back and you got to look at it again 10 times, 3 times. No, too much.
Because we're here, you're on TV right now.
Right.
I run a lot of production, so a lot of people don't understand. Like 1 second of us talking right now would take me 29 photos to do that 1 second.
And how many hours involved for that?
So you imagine.
Yeah.
That's what AI does. I have to tell AI what to do for each second. That's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work. Yes.
But
the only thing I can say, yes, do learn it, because on the ground floor you have the concept and understanding of it.
I'm of the belief that if you're gonna hate on something, you better know the ins and out of everything to hate on it properly.
Exactly.
So, but on that note, we're gonna go take a break. My dad has to pay bills. And welcome back. Anyhow, so we'll make it somehow, I think. You want some good news?
Sure.
So one of your babies is going to be in a movie soon.
Ooh.
So it's Sandra Bullock, right? So I'm a huge Practical Magic fan, and I love the movies. I read the books as well. Part 2 is going to be coming out this year. They dropped the trailer, and I'm not gonna lie, I did shed a few tears just because this is a big deal for me. It's like one of my top 10 movies since I was a kid. And so Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman are coming back. They're the aunts now, which is I can't. I'm so excited. Lee Pace is going to be in it. Lee Pace, you know him. Right now, we are watching Invincible.
Oh yes,
he's the bad guy, the one that was wearing the skirt or scant or whatever the hell it is.
Oh, him, that voice, yes. Oh my.
The one I was melting over because I was just like, oh, I didn't even care what the bad guy was. I just it's Lee Pace. So he's going to be in it, and it's supposed to be set with, from what I understand, one of Sally's daughters had their kids now live with them and are trying to break the curse. You look it up.
I'm looking him up.
The Viltrumite?
The Viltrumite.
I forget his name.
I know.
But yeah, he's the new. If you just look up Lee Pace, it'll probably pop up. But yeah, so that's coming out, and that's actually coming out a few days before my birthday, September this year. So I'm very excited. I feel like it's a birthday present for me. But you find the character?
Oh yeah,
that character, yeah.
Thrag.
He's such a good.
But the voice is when I look at the animation, I see Thrag speaking, and then I see the picture of him, and the voice matches the anime character.
No, it doesn't. No.
Yes, it does. That anime character Thrag, when he speaks, the way he speaks, it's damn, it's so big. It's scary.
Well, no,
it's scary.
I don't know.
He did a good job on that.
I don't know if you've seen The Hobbit yet. And
yeah, I've seen The Hobbit.
Okay, he's Fandral.
Oh,
he's the leader of the elves.
That's
Remember the one that had the burn on his face?
That's right.
That's him, right? So he already is great at playing these esoteric bad guys. So he's just, and his voice just. So I'm very happy to see Lee Pace do more stuff, but also just Practical Magic getting a part 2. I'm just really curious to see how, because I don't want to spoil it for people. If you haven't seen Practical Magic, please go watch it. It's so good. It's so good.
Watch it twice.
Even if you don't read the book, watch the movie. But it's about these two sisters who are fighting basically a family curse. And it's assumed that the curse is broken at the end of the first movie, but we find out that not only was it not broken, that it seems that it is much more pervasive than was assumed before it. Mm-hmm. So I'm so excited.
I'm excited just because, Sandra, hello, thank you.
Yeah, so, I was more of a Nicole Kidman girly, so that was who I was obsessed with.
All right, but she is not Sandra. Because I followed her career and watched so many of her films. I'm like, to this day, I still open my mailbox and think, she's going to be talking to me through there. That's just me being, how can I say it, basic romantic and thinking, that's not Sarah. Yeah. No. Yeah, Biddles, not Sarah. Okay, but either way, I love the first one, and I can't wait to see what they did. I mean, I haven't checked the trailer yet, and maybe I'm saving myself for this, but I'm gonna now look at it.
I didn't want to watch the trailer. I found it on accident. It came up on TikTok, and I just was like, "Oh wow, Lee Pace," and I just was swept up in his beauty, and that's why I ended up watching the whole trailer. But that, and then
I'm on his voice when it comes to villain characters and beauty.
I mean, his voice, his face, everything about that man.
It's the same way when I say the word Carl Urban. You know what I mean?
If they were in a scene together, I think I would explode. Like, legitimately just...
What is that? I say, well,
you would just see a puff of smoke, and then I would just be a pile of ash. That's my daughter, don't worry about her. Don't mind her. She's fine.
Clean up, all five.
Not even. I'd just disappear into the ether. I would just... Anyhow,
I'm pretty sure you out there have, and if you do, drop a name in our Facebook page. Of what is it that gets you going? Which actor does it for you?
What actor,
or actress?
No, it's particularly you should be asking what actor or actress makes your brain melt into goo. Yeah. Speaking of Carl Urban, though, he was doing an interview recently, and they asked him if he could be in a video game, like any video game that's like, because that's like a resurgence right now. Video games being live action.
Definitely.
He said he would love to do Red Dead Redemption, and he would play James Marsters. And I was like, please do. Oh, anybody, whoever is casting that or working on that movie right now, please get on that. Also, speaking of live action stuff, there is a live action Gundam in the works on Netflix. D. Sweeney is attached to it. And I'm kind of curious because it seems like they're not adapting a storyline, they said. They said it's an original story that's set in the Gundam universe. So we'll see. I'm curious to see how that plays out. Maybe they're going to Americanize it a little bit. I still say Gundam Wing would have been their best bet as an adaptation for Gundam, because Gundam Wing is like the only Gundam that's in its own universe, right?
Yes.
It's separate from the overall Gundam, whereas all the other Gundams are part of
like
the
one
same universe, from what I understand.
Mobile Suit. Me was always been the mobile suit Gundam. Back in the early days. Mobile Suit.
So was it Gundam Suit Zero and stuff like that? Like all of them. I'm a Gundam girl. That's how I got into Gundam. That's my introduction to it. But I'm curious. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see any Asian actors listed, but I also wasn't digging too deep yet. But I was generally curious how an anime property is being made with only white actors so far. That's my only thing.
That's your casting for you, because
But we don't know. They might be mixed race, and I'm like just hating on them for no reason. I haven't looked that deep, so we'll have to dive into that.
There are great Asian voice actors out there.
This is a live action. This is not an anime movie. This is live action.
I know, but they're not ugly. They're definitely good-looking people that can play their parts. You know, it's not like it's uncommon. But it's like that thing we talked about before. When I say the name,
Jason Isaacs is in the movie as well.
And when I say his name, which is Iron Fist, there goes that face exactly. Nothing against the actor, but again, we know Iron Fist a different way from the comic book. So it's like when they brought Danny Rand on, and we're like,
It wasn't that he was a bad Danny Rand. It was just the way that they depicted him as bad.
Yes.
So I feel like there was a lot going against him, and there was a lot of push for people who wanted him to be mixed race, because people were tired of the white savior trope that is used in a lot of Asian themed storylines. And I kind of understand where they're coming from. It's the same reason why they casted this Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One. Even though in the comic books the Ancient One was definitely an Asian male. So
exactly.
Like, they did that because they're like, well, we don't want to fall into the trope of like the ancient Asian elder, but at the end of the day, you might as well have at that point.
If you're called the Ancient One, you're supposed to be an ancient one.
Well, I mean, Tilda Swinton does look ancient. I'll give them that. But not in a bad way, please. Not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way, but you made her bald, and she spoke the truth or whatever. But I'm like, really? Okay.
So another thing that was announced is Gen V was canceled. I was going to go into something else, but
a moment of silence for Gen V.
He saw the news thingy before I could change it over. So they just announced it that Gen V is going to be canceled. It's not going to continue after the second season, which is already done.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they're going to continue the characters in the boys as well as like see where they can take them, but for the most part.
Well, they were already hinting on that towards the end of season 2. They brought in Starlight, and they brought in Homelander. So they kind of opened that door already. So to them, just to then close the show and then go on with the characters in the boys, which is like their 5th and final season now, right? 5th and final season going on.
I believe
right now.
So. Yes.
So these characters, beware, they are going to show up. So it's a matter of when. Hopefully, this will be like they do a great. I hope the boys do a great swan song on this show because so far it's like. This is not a season 1. I didn't need therapy. After I watch something, I have to go, wait, was that? And I rewind it and I go, oh.
I'm curious to see how they're going to resolve it just because of how the comic ends.
Yeah,
which is
definitely how the comic ends.
Dying. So I'm curious to see how they do that. But the last thing I would like to mention is that something I've been talking about for years and telling everybody to get into. This is why he's already. So everyone knows I'm really big into musicals. And so Epic the Musical, I have been telling everybody and anybody who will sit down with me for less than like 20 seconds, like, oh, you need to go watch this. So for those who don't know, Epic the Musical is a concept musical that is 9 sagas long. It's about like 40 songs. And it deals with the Odyssey. If you don't know the story of the Odyssey, it's an old Greek mythological text. It's a book that's based off of mythology characters that deals with Odysseus leaving from fighting overseas and trying to get back home and then facing all these Greek gods in between. And it's one of my favorite concept musicals. It's one of my favorite top musical period, and I'm excited to see it go farther just recently.
But before anything, let me just chime in before you continue. This is actually good stuff. I mean, at first I was a bit skeptical. Okay, I got to hear this. But then after hearing this,
we're like 2 sagas away from ending it too. So.
I know we still are. We'll finish it. But the thing is, in most of the sagas, the story and how it depicts it, and this is talking to the Greek gods, and I'm like, oh, this is really good.
And to be fair, it's only the music. Like it's not the full conceptualized musical. It's just an album, right? So this is they created it with the idea of I guess seeing where it could go. Originally, I think it was created as a school project by the creator. So the creator is a Puerto Rican guy named Jorge Rivera Ferran. Puerto Rican.
What's up?
So that's initially how I found out about him. I saw him was talking about Hamilton, and there were other Puerto Rican creators, and I'm like, oh, this guy has been doing a little underground stuff, and I think there were 3 or 4 sagas in already. That's how I got into it, and then they just ended it less than a year, maybe a year some change ago, and now he's working on part 2. So Epic the Musical has been picked up by Jerry Bruckheimer, who we know from Pirates of the Caribbean, all these great works, and they're going to be doing an animated version of it.
So it's going
to be fully fleshed out. So that means that all the intricacies between. So a lot of people I know who are not into musicals who were trying to get into Epic were like, oh, it doesn't feel like it's a complete storyline. It is because it's the music part of the musical. You're not getting the in-between bits of them talking and whatever. But if you've read the Odyssey, which is what I always tell people, go and read the Odyssey. You don't even have to read the full Odyssey. There's Spark Notes. You can watch a video of someone breaking down the Odyssey in less than 10 minutes. And then you get a good idea. Is it a one-to-one retelling of the Odyssey?
Right.
No. Is it a ratio that is acceptable and fills the heart of the original stories? Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's so catchy. It's so much fun. A lot of the people who worked on it are underground artists, people who are not famous, people who have never even been anywhere near anything entertainment-wise. They're brand new.
I love the passion of the music because there's passion.
There's a lot of love
in the music when they speak to one another. It's done in song, but it's done with.
Yeah.
If you love something passionate, even in the spoken word, but it's more than the spoken word, and that you get to feel it right here. And I was like, wow, I was really feeling this.
And on the nerdy part, it's a lot of the music, like the musical instrument parts, are inspired by Pokemon and stuff like that. So I could sit down with you one day after we finish it, and I could play some stuff you can hear, oh, this inspired this song, and this inspired something else. And so there's a lot of nerdy references in their music as well. And yeah, I'm so excited to see it finally play out, not only as a musical fan, but to see a fellow Puerto Rican make it up there, and I love to see it. So yes, we love to see it. So, but yeah, so other than that, there's still news that's happening, but that really was the biggest thing.
That is the biggest thing, because it's how many times do you get an adaptation like that to be turned into animation? We already see games get turned into movies, animation, and stories. That's kind of already something. But when you get something like an incredible musical like this, and then it gets turned into an animation that you're actually going to see characters. Now, if it's going to follow it completely like it does? I'm hoping it does, because quite frankly,
he was working on it, so at least we know he's.
If you take away that element, it really, that is just a musical and nothing else. If you add this element in and you do it, and I know it's going to be done right, because he's Jerry Bruckheimer. He's not playing games. It's going to be a spectacular event on film.
I don't think it's going to be a film. I think it's going to be a mini-series.
I would love to see that as a film. Break the mini-series as one and
I
put
think
it up on the screen, bro.
if they do a movie, it should be like how they did Wicked, which is a two-parter.
Right.
Because then you can do the full musical. You don't have to cut out songs. You don't have to. Because the thing with musical theater, most of those musical movies are cutting out a lot of songs to fit into a thing. But yeah, so I'm just really excited. I love it. I love it so much. Please, everybody go watch Epic the Musical. It's on YouTube, everywhere. It's so good. And on that note, I guess I'm a spawn of Satan.
And I'm just Satan. Again, guys, be good to each other and to everyone else, and live long and prosper.
Welcome to the zone where geeks collide, where comics and heroes come alive. Marvel, DC, Starfleet in the mix. Lightsabers flash, we're nerds.